So friends, here we go. Here we go. It's nice to see this many people coming out even on a nice, beautiful snowy morning. So welcome. I'm glad to be here for the second Sunday in a row. This will be fun. I'm going to ask for announcements, please, right now before we begin.
One announcement is that we started the campaign of raising funds for Turkey's career relief. There are envelopes in the pews. There are some on the desk in the vestibule. You can put your envelopes in the collection plate. We're going to be doing this through Easter. We also welcome checks by mail and credit card. And Friday night, the winter readings committee, which is Islene at the library, is hosting a wildlife biologist whose specialty is bears. She's not bringing one. We have fun with the journalists. We're stuck. But anyway, her particular field of study is how people and bears relate. So she's tagged bears, she's woken them up their dens, she's done all kinds of stuff, and it should be an interesting talk at some.
That's right, this Friday at 7 o'clock. If you love bears, don't forget to make donations for kids. So
There are also prayer shawls still here in the back.
prayer shawls, money available.
They all need homes.
Nice. Point sevens. So we will begin with some music. May we be reminded here of our highest aspirations and inspired to bring our gifts of love and service to the altar of humanity. May we know once again that we are not isolated beings, but connected in mystery and miracle to the universe, unity, and to each other. Shall we sing? Hymn number 59. All creatures of our God.
Recording in progress.
Verses 1, 2, and 3. All creatures of our God that hear our voice and give us singing. Some beautiful voices in this church. You may notice that when I'm playing hymns, I sometimes won't sing some of the verses because my eyes are having a hard time reading words and thinking. So you have to fill in through. Okay. Let's see. Let's do the responsive reading together, please. Why should we live in such a hurry and waste of life? We are to front only the essential facts of life. I wish for from Henry Thoreau. So why do we light the peace candle? Let's share some joys and concerns.
I will just update you that I was doing really well. Thank you all for your prayers and concerns. Asked and he thought about coming this morning, but he should be right there watching. I'd also like to say that he talked with Baxter this morning, and Barbara is still dealing with some issues, but and certainly needs continued prayers. I'd also like to say that big thank you for all the prayers and concerns that you give through me for Wesley. He had another heavy duty infusion this week, and with that comes lots of ups and downs. They just need prayers day to day living. So it's like see,
It's good to be here this morning. Thank you. Thank you for all your prayers and concerns. Some of you may or may not know what's met last week between Gifford and Dartmouth. Apparently I've got congestive heart failure. You get more testing to do. The arteries are fine, but more testing. So we'll see. But thank you for your concerns and prayers. Much appreciated.
We're glad to see you here.
I found out that Marcia begins fell Thursday, I think it was, and she had a mild concussion.
I'd like to report Roger Hayes and my parents are doing better. They like some company once in a while. You can find her up with that all. Stop by, see you.
Company is good.
Yeah. I'd like to see you, meet you.
I would love to meet them.
They live in the log cabin just north of the school. Roger Hayes.
Terrific. What's your name?
Tony.
Tony Walsh. Walsh. Be my name. Anyone else? And of course, we have all these people listed here. Patrick, Lorraine, Laura, Scott, Brenda, John, and Miles. Let's have a few moments of that as we think of all these people. Shall we pray aloud the prayer that Jesus taught us so long ago? And again, this week we'll do the translation directly from Aramaic, which was his language. We didn't mention last week that the reason why the other version of the Lord's Prayer is somewhat different from this is because it was originally spoken in Aramaic. Then it was translated to Greek, and then it was translated to Latin, and then it was translated to English. And we know that in translations, ways of expression. So this one is very original. It may be very close to what Jesus said on that hill. Let's say it together. O cosmic further of all radiance and vibration, soften the ground of our being and carve out space within us where your presence can abide. Fill us with your creativity so that we may be empowered to bear the fruit of your name. Let each of our actions bear fruit in accordance with our desire. Endow us with wisdom to produce and share what each being needs to grow and flourish. Untie the tangled threads of destiny that bound us as we release others from the entanglement of past mistakes. Do not let us be seduced by that which would divert us from our true purpose, but illuminate the opportunities of the present moment. For you are the ground, fruitful vision, the birth, power, and fulfillment, as all is gathered and made whole again. And so it is. Let's just use this time while listening to this beautiful, slow movement of the sweet light while fun rhythms as a period of just meditation. Play this piece in my mother's 11 years ago. Just wanting to mention the thanks, the offerings that have been left today. I'd like to open my thoughts today with a beautiful poem by Jean Roman. It's called Slowing Down. After hurrying through days of busy occasions, dutifully noted on calendars with fast-turning pages, I hear whispers around me, talk of how I'm slowing down, as if something's wrong with them. And I should be sorry to be my age, mournful about the changes. But for now, I have to say how welcome the changes are. That it's good sometimes to live within a smaller compass, to no longer be in charge of anything more than daily necessities. That I am learning to be worthy of time and robust with memory in a sanctuary of silence where the loves of my long life walk the shadows with me, where we embrace, where we sing. I look out upon you all today and see more than a few beautiful gray or white-headed people. Many of us. I now am among this group of folks who are growing older, and I'm grateful to be able to say that I love it. Like all of us here, I have done my fair share of racing around, getting lots of things done, taking on more than I could easily chew. The most recent example of this was my move 8 months ago back to Vermont after spending 2 years in Maine. After the move and settling in, I was exhausted and stressed, and I vowed to never do that to myself again. It took me 3 long months to fully recover my equilibrium and sense of well-being. I had definitely taken on a huge project that tested and went way beyond my natural limits. But I learned something important. Now in my mid-70s, I feel that I'm finally entitled to set a forevermore pace of slowness and ease. And I am choosing that path. In doing this, I am honoring an inner wisdom and rhythm that has always served me well throughout life, whenever I was smart enough to follow my more natural inclinations. One of my spirit animals is a turtle. She goes along at a slow, very steady pace, and however long it may take her to reach her destination, she usually does. I am currently painting the interior rooms of my little house up the road. Every couple of days, I get back on the project and do a bit more. Just enough to show some progress and leave me still feeling good and energetic. No stress, no exhaustion, just pleasing productivity and a little exercise. I expect all 5 rooms will be complete by summertime. What's the rush? I expect to live here until I die, so I aim to enjoy this process. A slower schedule also gives me plenty of time to consider and then reconsider my color choices, which is something I love to do. So there's more enjoyment. If you ever have a chance to visit me at my home, you'll see how very pretty and cozy it is becoming. I also notice that I'm driving more slowly, not so slowly that I disrupt traffic, but we miss so much of the beauty of the world, especially the small, beautiful things, if we rush through our day. When I wake in the middle of the night to relieve my bladder, I always take the time to step out onto my back porch and look up at the sky. Cloudy or clear, it's a moment of brisk, fresh air and darkness that I treasure. When I cross the road to collect the mail, I take some moments to stop and look and listen to the first branch happily flowing along its way. Napping on the couch with my affectionate cat slows down the pace of each day and provides a little time to dream and watch the birds at the feeder. I am and you are entitled to all this. Unfortunately, we live in a very fast-paced culture. I don't like it. And it seems to get faster and faster all the time as we fly through this digital age of speed and way too much information. It's no wonder that aging and slowing down in such a culture is anathema. It is very distasteful to many people. As a result of this fast-paced way of life, our elder population is not always valued as much as is its due. Yes, we've slowed down. Our rate of productivity is diminishing. We have much more trouble keeping up. It's a disgrace that elders are not always seen as way showers for those who are younger and more vital, as repositories of knowledge and experience, and sometimes even wisdom, as heroic for having survived the many challenges of a long life. There are many things that I dislike about our modern life in the Western world, but none more than that old age is considered a detriment. The good news is that other cultures, especially ancient ones, know better. I'd like to read an excerpt from a book written by my friend Olivia Ames Hoblet-Sell. It's titled Aging with Wisdom, Reflections, Stories, and Teachings. You can find it on the shelf at the Tunbridge Library. In this chapter, she shares how the Native American culture honors its elders. This chapter is titled Gift of Recognition. And it's about a woman she met named Stella Fox. Stella's name means star. She stands next to her daughter Lorraine, the friend I'm visiting in Prestone, Colorado. Lorraine's arm is resting protectively around her mother's shoulder. Stella, who is 94, is a short, sturdy woman, barely 5 feet tall. She looks directly at me, photographer. Her white hair is pulled back from her round face with its broad nose, the folds of age softening the strong lines of her chin and neck. She's smiling. Her eyes are crinkled with delight at being included in the photograph. From this moment caught on film, one would never have guessed what sorrows lay in Stella's past. Stella is a Blackfeet Indian. She grew up on reservations and in a government boarding school for Indian children, one more forgotten victim of our oppression against Native Americans. Struggling for an existence, she married one man after another, 5 in all. Can you think of that? Each one bearing the hope that life might become better. She had 3 children, including Lorraine, and lost custody of them when Lorraine was 4 years old. Lorraine had told me stories about their family, the alcohol, violence, and her mother's tragic life with all its struggle, depression, and despair. Throughout her adult life, Stella worked as a nurse's aide. She started her career in Montana, where she was born, and then left to work in Seattle and San Francisco. She had never gone back because, as her daughter explained, she had experienced so much suffering in her early years, she chose to disassociate herself from her Indian roots. What a loss. The day I took the photograph was hot and dry. Lorraine's house sits on the arid plain where the majestic Sangre de Cristo Mountains begin to rise steeply to 14,000 feet against the brilliant blue cloudless sky. Now in her mid-90s, Stella has come to live with Lorraine and her husband, and a new story begins to emerge. June is the month of the Sundance, the annual week-long ceremonial gathering of the tribe for ritual, traditional dance, and shared community. Arduous as the trip and camping might be, Lorraine decides to bring Stella along so that she can see her old homeland. She hasn't been back to Montana for over 50 years. On the last day of the Sundance, there is an elder honoring ceremony. Because Stella is the oldest person at the encampment, Sundance Chief invites her into the center of the large circle to participate in the ceremony. She's introduced to the tribal leaders who welcome her home. It is an overwhelming experience for Stella. Moved to tears, then weeping openly, many of those witnessing this moment are weeping along with her. They know something of her story, and this is her welcome. This is her homecoming. This is honoring her as an elder in her tribe. Then the Sundance Chief gives Stella instructions for her part in representing all the elders who will be honored, and the ceremonies continue. For this day, she is at the center, participating in this ancient tradition in the most important ceremony of the year. In our tradition, explains Lorraine, aging is a natural and a noble process. Families are important, and each individual is important. And above all, the elders are considered the repositories of wisdom. That is why they are honored at the Sundance ceremony. This was a life-transforming experience for my mother. In the days and weeks that followed, instead of Stella's usual resigned, withdrawn expression, she began to shine. And the shining continued to the day of the photograph that I took. As Lorraine saw it, some of her mother's lifelong wounding seemed to have been redeemed by the recognition and honor with which she was treated. She came out of hiding, out of the shadows of her suffering, to stand proud at the center of that great gathering. As an old woman in the culture that honors its elders, she had been given the gift of recognition and respect. You know, we earn our eldership. A long life is never without difficulties, challenges, sometimes even tragedy. We come through all that as survivors, hopefully having learned and grown through the process. Let's celebrate and honor each other as elders, as the Blackfeet honored Stella. Let's open ourselves to the benefits of older age and enjoy both the necessity and the luxury of slowing down. Let's sing together hymn number 401. Like a river of Bible. And I notice him as being called, it is well in the soul. It's a beauty. May you realize that the shape of your soul is unique, that you have a special destiny here, that behind the facade of your life there is something beautiful, good, and eternal happening. May you learn to see yourself with the same delight, pride, and expectation with which God sees you in every. You can be seated. Remember to play a wonderful, rousing, Black spiritual in our service today. Honor Black Sheila.